The views and opinions expressed by the guests, callers, and hosts on this and all Rense Radio Network programs do not necessarily reflect or agree with those of the network, its commercial sponsors, its radio station affiliates, or Internet broadcast platforms. In these controversial times, we believe the First Amendment and freedom of the press are absolutely essential to the survival of our nation. Thank you. And now, enjoy the program.
Gerald Celente night, and our good friend of many years has stepped into the year 2015, as all the rest of us, and is watching things unfold. False flag operation, terrorism, trained in Syria, what's really going on in France. Police are being executed in the streets now by disgruntled Americans, to put it mildly. Police, in turn, are executing disgruntled Americans and people who aren't particularly unhappy, as is obvious if you follow the news. It's clear we are on the precipice of remarkable race war potential. This can be triggered at any time by the controllers. We're really sitting on a very, very pointy surface, not comfortable at all. I don't know where it's going to go, but I think 2015 is going to be a very difficult, a very rough year for an awful lot of people. And the master of trends himself, of course, has his newest projections out, and we're pretty close together, almost on the exact same page. How are you, Gerald?
I'm very well, thank you, considering all that's going on and how sad it all is.
It really is. It really is. I was trying to think of something fun, and for some reason, you remember when you were a kid, we used to watch TV in black and white, and then there was the great actor, Sheldon Leonard.
Oh, sure, I remember.
Nobody talks about him. He's forgotten. He was wonderful.
There were so many wonderful ones.
Oh,
Bill
man.
Silvers.
Oh, thank you. Yeah.
I mean, one cat after another. Groucho Marx.
Groucho, You Bet Your Life.
I remember, Steve Allen. There's one smart guy after another.
And they were smart,
too,
right?
We got these guys that people think are funny, like Stewart and Colbert, and then there's, they're nothing. They're zeros.
Well, even worse, this Jimmy Kimmel and Jimmy Fallon, the Tonight Show successor. Look, Johnny was the king. There'll never be another Johnny. These guys are cut out cardboard, vapid morons. There's nothing there. And the sad part of it is the audience laughs on cue. They're idiots.
Yep.
Idiots.
Yep.
I'll tell you.
It's a whole different world.
You may have missed him because I just got onto this about 4 or 5 months ago, 6 months ago. The Late Show, after a very tired and worn out David Letterman, is this guy named Craig Ferguson, who's now off the air. His last show was a week ago or so. He was witty, humorous, in his own way, I feel, the best since Carson. And
really?
he was there running 10 years on the Late Show after Letterman. And I guess he came to the end of his contract. He's giving hints he'll be back. The guy was incredibly creative. You could see him thinking on his feet, funny, smart, bright, great-looking set, tremendous rapport with the audience, completely different than any of these other idiots who are out there. Completely different. He was gold. And I hope he comes back soon. 50 years old, I think he's way young enough, so we'll see. Craig Ferguson.
I remember back in the day, when I was a young guy, when everybody, you fell asleep watching Johnny Carson.
You sure did.
It was a ritual.
Well, it was a 90-minute show in the beginning for years.
Yeah, oh yeah, and I mean the funny, and of course I'm up here in Colonial Kingston. And we're right near the Borscht Belt, where a lot of these people came from.
Yeah.
The Shecky Greens, one after another.
They did.
Yeah, they were a riot.
That was their training ground. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So it's actually we were talking about this 2 weeks ago as we were finalizing the trends, and I said to the crew, America has no vibe. There's no vibe out there.
No, there isn't.
Dead.
That's really well said.
Yeah, it's on empty. It's Justin Bieber, Miley Cyrus, whoever her name is. I mean, it's Obama, it's Bush. I mean, I have to tell you though, I'm so excited, Jeff. We're moving into the presidential race of 2016,
yeah.
And I'm so thrilled that it might be either Jeb Bush or Hillary Clinton.
I can hear the awe and happiness and anticipation.
Well, yeah,
in
we're
your voice.
a nation of 320 million people.
And these are the best two we got.
These are our best and brightest.
They're the best
what
two.
What a wonderful country it is.
And we got to go through this bullshit for 2 years. 2 years.
2 years. And the prostitutes keep pumping them up like these are decent human beings that we should look up to.
Exactly. Now,
it's disgusting. It's a sham. This is no democracy. It's a bunch of elites putting their. I've said this over and over and over and over again. If you want to see what has destroyed America, you could count it up in 6 words: Harvard, Princeton, Yale, bullets, bombs, and banks.
Amen, brother. Amen.
You don't need any more proof.
No.
And you know why? Because they are better than us. I went to Harvard.
Just ask them.
I went to Yale.
You're privileged.
Yeah, I sucked up, bowed down, was born on third base, and thought I hit a triple. My name's Mitt Romney.
I love that one. Yeah, I'm named Mitt. Now, Slick Willy, by the way, he'll wiggle out of this one just in time to come.
Another one, huh? Another
scandal.
Yeah. And I love it too. They got that dirtbag Dershowitz in this too.
That is the most fun thing I've seen in the news in a long time.
Did you see that little Slimer squirm on the news?
No, I missed it.
That Dershowitz?
Yeah, he's threatening to sue all the attorneys who are going to sue him.
He is suing.
He's a real piece of crap, that guy.
Oh, disgusting guys. They're all disgusting human beings.
Yeah, and they trade in 13 and 15-year-old girls. That's pretty classy. Pretty classy.
Yep.
Well, here we are. Epstein, his little black book was stolen by his houseboy, who 60 years old, who suddenly came down with cancer and died 3 days ago. And they can't find the book. So,
I know.
We know the game.
Yep.
All too well.
And it's been going on for centuries.
Yeah. Well, it's amusing to watch the revolving door here. They come and they go. They come back again and again. The neocons, they come back again and again. Now, in France, it's the same thing. Little Sarko is now back leading the opposition. The little creepy Zionist gangster over there, Sarkozy, is back leading the opposition. Hollande is saying we need détente with Russia. We've got to drop all this crap. These sanctions are doing no good. And the EU doesn't like that. And look what happens right away.
Hollande. Yeah, I mean, because they're losing money, they're going into the crapper.
Exactly.
And now Europe is, because Europe does a lot of trade with Russia, Russia's now cut off a lot of Europeans that were, particularly in agriculture.
They
had that big ship deal with France that they won't deliver the ship that's costing them billions of dollars.
There's two of them. They're Mistrals. They're helicopter aircraft carriers, and they're sitting there. I think that Hollande will release them. And I wouldn't want to be Hollande because they kill people if they get in the way. He's really bucking the trend there.
Yeah, he's going to fold.
They usually do.
Little nothing. You see what they're doing now? They're calling another new war on terror over there now.
Oh, come on.
Yeah, and this is the guy that also invaded Mali. He can't get over that French Indochina trip, you know.
Well, they're down there protecting uranium and yellowcake.
That's right. Right at the Niger border over there.
You know. See, Gerald knows. That's why I always beg you, please go to TrendsResearch.com and sign up. You're going to get the best of the best.
Jeff, you know, we had a conference here in December.
Yeah.
And we had, we filled up, and we released the top trends of 2015. It's a 5.5-hour conference, high quality broadcast,
HD,
and people can purchase that as well.
They can be there. I don't travel anymore. I just won't.
No, they could get it, you know, online.
Yeah. I mean, I'd love to come back and actually, if I were to be able to go to anything anymore, you would be right at the top of the list.
Well, listen, I don't like to travel anymore either. I mean, it made it so, as I said, there's no vibe and no fun. You know, I'm a New Yorker, you know, I can tell by the accent, you know. I'm a guy I was born in the Bronx, you know, and I used to go, Times Square now in New Year's Eve is like a war zone.
Yeah.
It's a war zone.
Yeah,
and you know what it is? These terrorists are gonna come down the East River, I told you, and they're gonna go through the sewer pipes, and they're gonna blow themselves up in Times Square. So yeah, and now here's the thing. Now all the cops, you know, they're snubbing de Blasio, and they're on strike basically, and the city's working fine.
Yeah.
It's doing great.
Funniest
They're not busting people's chops for doing nothing. The cops that bow down to the big guys that only break our chops aren't breaking our chops anymore, and the city's running fine. And then people say, well, you know, Celente, you know, since do you remember what happened back in the 70s and the mid 80s, and you know, when the little crime in the city, and a good thing they clamped down. Hey, grow up. The reason why it stopped is because New York City is now mostly foreign. The prices of apartments are through the roof. The whole place has been gentrified. There are no more neighborhoods left. Every place is Sutton Place.
That's sad.
That's why there's no crime.
Yeah.
Because there's no people left anymore other than the very rich. And the only people they're stealing from is us. And they do it through the banks and Wall Street. So they got rid of the petty criminals, and they got the real big mafia up there on Wall Street that are robbing us. That's why crime has decreased in New York. You can't afford to buy anything there. And now people from Brooklyn can't afford to live there anymore.
No kidding. They're out.
Oh, yeah.
Wow. Well,
the whole place has been gentrified.
The diversity is gone. It's homogenized.
I mean, you go to Times Square is like going to a mall. You want to go to an Applebee's? Haven't seen a Starbucks lately? Want to see a TGIF? Oh, yeah, the heart of New York City. Not the New York City I grew up in.
No. Gone.
If I never go to New York City again, it's too soon. I don't want to see another Duane Reade drugstore or a bank on every corner.
Well,
so that's why there's no crime. So now the cops are protesting. They're not writing tickets, and everything's fine.
Well, the bottom line is we don't need militarized cops in the streets. We can get along just fine, and if they were to pull the cops off the streets, with a few exceptions, everything would proceed, I think, basically just normally.
They could cut them by half.
Oh, yeah. Sure.
They could cut it by half.
They're out looking for trouble, most of them.
They're out breaking people's chops for drinking things out of a paper bag, you know, for doing silly little things.
Yeah.
And we have to be fair, though, Jeff. Look how the cops